are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Wednesday. Yes. Tony's favorite day of the week. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Obviously, pumped for today's episode, to be honest. A little Wednesday action. We had some golf back in play. You just reminded me before the show started. Heavy hockey, maybe some NBA talk as well. Fantasy baseball, I almost said. Fantasy basketball, full swing. Let's go.
Full swing. No pun intended, right?
No pun intended, dude. How are you doing, Brian?
Pretty well. Can't complain. The week is moving along. One thing, and we've talked about this, but it's, I know, yes, tomorrow, one day, whatever. But it seems like the Rangers are off for a month.
Dude, what the fuck? Yeah, dude. No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I was thinking the same thing when I came in this morning. I was checking the scores, and I'm like, oh, nice. We're probably gonna Ranger game tonight. And I'm like, no, we don't, dude.
Wait. Yeah, it's just, I know, there's certain things that need to be, accomplished with the schedule, but I don't know how somebody could convince me that there's a better way to do it, because I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And we found that last year to happen quite often as well, where we get these 3-4 day spans in the Rangers schedule where they don't have any games, and it's just, I don't know, it's really weird. Because maybe it's just because I'm not a fan, I'm not following heavily that much to any other team, but I feel like no other team has that.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I'm sure, like you said, that probably has more to do with it. And then it seems like they kind of jumble things up. So you got tomorrow at home against Buffalo, at Detroit Saturday. Just was talking to Matt. He's pumped against Winnipeg Tuesday.
That's so sick, dude.
That's going to be a dope game. And it's step up, win the game,
dude.
Stick out your chest.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be a big game. Winnipeg's been playing really good.
That's probably the biggest challenge of the season. You want to argue Florida, but they played better than Florida this year. And then home against San Jose before a 4-game trip to West Seattle Coast, and Canada. So if you look at that, they get after the San Jose game next Thursday. They got 6 out of 7 on the road.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, dude. Yeah, they get one, and it's funny because it's one at home, real quick, St. Louis, and then back on the road, Carolina, Philly.
Easy flight. But it's first of all, why wouldn't it be Philly than Carolina?
I don't know. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I guess maybe on the way back up, they're thinking it doesn't really matter. But then I guess a nice homestand, 5-game homestand. And then what do you know, dude?
Yeah. Absolutely. So, definitely excited for the Rangers. Can't wait to be in the building. And I know we have some of our loyal listeners in the building as well.
The Sports Report faithful here. Matthew Gabriel says, come on, let's go.
Let's go, Matthew.
Michael Buckta, very happy. Let's go. He says, Barnes, you go to any of the restaurants in Malibu.
Like we were talking about before the show, it seems like he should be the one telling me where I went.
Yeah, that is for sure.
We'll give him a pass on that. We talked about Jeffries, of course. And then the other place in Malibu, Moon Shadows, right on the water. Literally, the dining tables extend over the Pacific Ocean. And I think, what was it? I got some spicy marinara with lobster last time I was there. Interesting, Michael Bucket likes lobster because he says he's tight on shrimp. But nevertheless,
shellfish. Yeah.
Great meal. I think I got a French onion soup.
Oh.
And then, of course, the wine in California. Pretty fucking good, Tony.
Yeah, dude, that's what they say. What is it? Whatever Valley?
Napa
Valley, dude.
Napa.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. The French onion soup, dude.
It's it's one of my
that's
favorite
something
things.
Special.
Yeah, really is. I never understand why people don't like it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess if you don't like onion.
Yeah, but
onions are so good. It's the staple of flavor.
You know who I think likes Friends Are Super would be Josh B.
I would think Josh B does. And he says, "What is up, fam?" He says, "Slow sports night last night. Let's have a day. Hump day," he says. And Tommy Donovan also in the house says, "Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen? 100% too many days. Sans Rangers. Big West Coast swing soon. Get ready for some late capital LATE games, dude."
I was just looking at this. So, yeah, the 4-game stretch of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
It is tough, dude. And it is like, it's also like a Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and I guess Saturday, Edmonton, but still 3 of them are on like the weekdays where you kind of want to go early to bed, but then wait. And it sucks too, because those are like, I mean, that trip is going to be good hockey. I mean, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, hard teams to put away, and you never know which Seattle. So like those are going to be games you want to watch also.
I mean, what's usually your rule of thumb on the West Coast trips? Like watching wise, I mean,
as much as I can, dude. Yeah,
does it usually end up being midway through the second period? You start dozing, especially at 10 o'clock start.
10 o'clock starts are really tough, dude. Yeah, when it's like 11:30 and you're just like,
yeah, it just nobody likes being tired. That's the whole thing.
Nope, nobody.
So
and that's pretty much it. That's all the comments.
Yeah, no, definitely. Excited to see them back in action tomorrow, and I think it's nice. Long layoff. You never know. Dusting off the skates. I think Buffalo is a good opponent to have, and then a little road trip to Detroit.
That's fun,
and then 2 days off to get jacked up for Winnipeg, which is going to be great. Excited about that.
You be jacked up, dude?
Oh yeah, dude.
You got a jersey for the game?
Laffy could be, but he's never been my favorite. But he has gotten really good,
right?
But I feel like I've always liked Fox, but again, he did disappoint in the playoffs. It might be too critical though at the same time, and he has a long-term deal, and he's only 25 years.
Yeah, that's right. He'll be around forever.
I mean, could Tommy or Josh or Matthew
anyone
give me some type of thought here?
Yeah, I don't think so.
This is something that I don't want to be rushed either.
No, of course not, dude. Take your time. You want to decide what you like, what you're feeling about. But Jacob Trouba,
do you think Foxy's a career Ranger? He's so young; it's tough to say.
Yeah, it is tough to say, dude. I wouldn't, not necessarily. No.
26 years old. Just curious too what his current agreement runs him to.
Is it 7 years too? No, I think it was longer than that. Maybe. Adam Graves says $200. That one. 93.
Adam Graves.
Will Cooley. That's a nice one.
See.
Wow, dude. Vladimir Tarasenko. That one's on sale for $123.
Josh B saying Kreider and Laffy. Laffy might be a good one because Laffy at this point is what, 23? 24?
Yeah, 24.
And he just signed a 7-year deal.
Mm-hmm. He says Igor. He's not really giving you. He's just saying the same names we're saying, dude. He's basically just saying all the guys that they have jerseys for.
Fox has 5 more years left on his deal, and he'll be 31 when the contract expires.
Philip Hedl, Louis Domingue. See, how do they have a Blake Wheeler jersey for $175? That should be like $50.
Tommy Laff for sure.
Laffy for sure. Looks like we got maybe a little Johnny
Josh Rico and Vinny T.
Vinny T's a great one, dude.
Yeah, I just like the long-term angle with Laffy, the 7-year deal.
Yeah.
But Josh B clamoring for Vinny T. So I guess either one I can't go wrong with, but I just like the long-term asterisk of Laffy. But Vinny T too would be quite the 360 for me, just because why'd we sign him?
You weren't about him,
29.
dude.
He doesn't score a lot.
Yep.
Oh, wait.
They got Hedl. You can go Jonathan Quick too. That'll be a nice one.
Yeah.
Is it Keandre Miller? That would be good too. So we have some all-star jerseys, and that's it. I like how they throw up these other names in the back, like Johnny Brodzinski, Seth Jones, or Zach Jones, rather. Not Seth Jones.
Stop. 23 years old for Laffy. Wow. So I would think I am at a dead heat almost with Lafreniere and Vinny T. What website was that, by the way? Was that the official Rangers show?
NHL, no. NHL
shop.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if the Rangers shop would have anything different. Which I don't think so. Shop Madison Square Garden. Bang. Wow, unlock 10% off. There we go.
Okay.
Well, see now these. Why are these so much more expensive?
Now this is which website is this?
This is MSG.
Kreider would be a forever jersey. 20 is going to be in the rafters. Tommy. But then Josh B also says Heedle and Miller are nice too.
I don't know about. I mean, Kendrick Miller, he's good.
Yeah, I don't think he's good enough though, Tony. You know what I mean? Not to say that like I'm hating on him, but he's not good enough to get a jersey.
Right.
And
maybe, that's okay.
Can they explain to us what? Or you just found out what's the deal here?
So these are
real authentic.
I guess so. I guess these are the Adidas jerseys, while NHL Shop has the Fanatics ones. But it's like I thought. I mean, I guess that's their new contract is with Fanatics. So I don't know.
You know what I just want to do, Tony, this weekend?
I mean, the Adidas jerseys are real nice, dude. But
these are Adidas.
But I guess maybe MSG is selling ones from last season, or they still have an Adidas contract or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure why these are different, to be honest.
And then Josh B also says can always get a Richter, Leach, and Graves, etc.
You could go old school, yeah. I got a Messier one. Straight,
but I feel like I need to start with an active player.
Yeah,
that's
what I've always been. So.
But I'm just wondering too, because I do really like Kreider. But do you think I'm overdoing it with the like, oh, well, he's only going to be there a couple years type of thing? Or you kind of get it at the same time? Because it's like sick, like 10 years down the road, potentially, it's like, yeah, Laffy's still playing. Like, I have his jersey. Like,
yeah, that's true.
10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like either you can't go wrong. For me, I mean, I think Kreider would be one. Well, I guess with, if you want to go back when you started watching, Lafreniere would be like a player I guess you kind of followed.
Yeah, saw come up, thought it was a complete boss, clamoring to
but
get
then
out
realized like, oh, he's got it, dude.
Chris Drury.
Right. The kid line.
You know what I'm just thinking about? Like just how great this is just casual Ranger conversation. Now, do you think that we will ever get to a point where on local radio, New York radio, where like the Rangers would be talked about a lot, or is it like just like the little sprinkle that Boomer and Dave do?
Yeah, I think so.
Like there's just no, or do you think like the Rangers win the cup, then like it might change things? Or
I mean, I feel like Rick and Dave do talk. Obviously Dave talks about the Rangers a lot. They do get into hockey.
Yeah, but not like.
But obviously it's not. Yeah, it's not like hockey centric. And even so, like right now, like they're still talking about MLB free agency, NFL, whatever, before they get to hockey. And obviously Rick is big into the Islanders too. So I mean, it creates good dialogue and stuff, no doubt. But yeah, no, I don't know. I don't think you'll see a show that's like headlining hockey, dude. But which, I mean, it is what it is. Maybe one day they will be. But I mean, we know the current lineup, at least at ESPN. I don't know about the Fan or anything, but I mean, obviously we know Bart and Hahn aren't talking that much hockey. Neither is Michael K. show, really, unless it's Don.
Yeah. But I think Dave needs to wash out his mouth with soap with the Yankee hate and talk even more Rangers, Dave. You know what I mean? It's a better waste of your time. It's a better use of your time.
I will say sometimes Michael K. show they have Rick come on and him and Don talk hockey. That's always good, dude.
Yeah.
But again, it's few and far between.
Yeah, it deserves more of a share. And it's like what like I don't know. I just feel like the NBA doesn't deserve the stranglehold that it gets over hockey.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I guess it's people like how I used to be, though, just don't even want to give it a chance. So that's, I think, why we're at where we are at.
Right. But if they were like you and gave it a shot, now all of a sudden it's UBS, it's MSG, baby. Have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. But it's tough. Like it's like I feel like it's like if a group
eat. Like, I don't know, it's not like a big bar scene,
more of a,
like boys' wings before the game at the table.
Exactly. Or the shepherd's
pie, dude, with some car bombs. Wild, dude.
Do you remember what you got?
I think I got like a burger, a burger.
Dude.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing crazy.
Dude, the shepherd's pie, though, hits, dude. The shepherd's pie hits.
I haven't had shepherd's pie in a long time.
Yeah, I think honestly that might have been the last time I had it. So I might have to get that again next month.
Really good.
Starving once again. Yes. All right. So we'll get back to hockey in a little bit, but just wanted to go over. We do have a PGA Tour fall event starting tomorrow. Worldwide Technology Championship. From Los Cabos, a place that I visited for the first time last year, El Cardinal at Diamante. I believe the first / only Tiger Woods design on tour.
Nice, dude.
So this used to be played in Riviera Maya and then moved over to Los Cabos last year. Speaking of last year, Eric Van Ruin won this tournament, 27 under par, 2 shots clear of Matt Kuchar and Camilo Viegas. And the year before, you had Russell Henley. Victor Hovland won back-to-back in 2020 and 2021. And then Brendan Todd, 2019, Matt Kuchar, 2018, and all 20 under, 22 under. Kaziri in 17 and 19 under, and Pat Perez in 2016 and 21 under. Obviously the course has changed, but I think, it seems like for whatever reason, you don't usually see this. The purse has went down back to 7.2 million after being 8.2 last year. So
interesting.
Winners share down from 1.476, 1.296. And looking at this field in terms of world golf rank, your lowest ranked, highest, lowest, however you want to say, golfer is Cam Young.
Wow.
So he is 33rd in the world right now. You know what's amazing? I feel like we've been talking about him for a while. He's actually never won a tournament. I didn't realize
his
that.
0 wins.
No, but doesn't it always seem like, oh, Cam Young, like he's a solid golfer, like you would think he gets a major sometime, but no.
I didn't realize he's from Scarborough.
7 runners up. Yeah. And if you look at the PGA Tour, everybody's from Florida, California, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really have too much Northeast just because, obviously there's
the weather.
Yeah, there's not as much of a golf season. But so he's your kind of, I guess, your favorite. You also have Max Greiserman, Lucas Glover, Austin Eckroth, Tom Hoagie, Harris English, Ben Griffin, Maverick McNeely, Taylor Moore, defending champion Eric Van Ruin, Johnny Vegas, Bo Hostler, Adam Shank, Keith Mitchell, Doug Heem, Patrick Rogers, Matty Schmid, Patton Gaziri, and Nico Echevarria, round out the top 100 golfers. But you also have Matt Kuchar, Charlie Hoffman, and just trying to see notable wise anything else. Carson Young, I believe also Joel Damon is in this field as well.
That's right.
Ryan Palmer. So kind of a mix of golfers here. So I think it is something that is wide open, and it is interesting though, because you look at this golfers and just kind of your preconceived notions. You would say, oh well, I mean Cam Young really should win this thing, but I just feel like just so often it's just like that's just not how it works.
Nope, not how it works, dude. Even though even just talking about Cam Young, I mean, I kind of want to root for him, to be honest.
I know, because the talent is there at the end of the day.
Right. I think he plays top 10 at the Travelers, I think, right? This year.
And then it was a couple years ago, but he was runner-up at the Open. So he's been in the mix before, and I'm sure he will be in the mix again. And it's just important too, golfers jockeying for position to be included in the Aon Next 10, which is the golfers ranked 50 to 60 in the world. And then you also have the guys that are just fighting to have, status on tour. So that's top 125 for the non-signatures. And then 125 to 50 is only conditional status. So a lot on the line here. Joel Damon, one of those guys fighting to do so. And before we get to our picks, just kind of curious, what do you think about, I feel like there's only a couple golfers that have done it but like Scotty, for instance, just completely sitting out the fall.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. I don't really like that. And it seems like a lot of golfers. Honestly, I was kind of going to look for Akshay Bhatia in this tournament or something like that, but he's not in the field either.
A lot of them played at Zozo.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's a Japanese Japan,
that's cool.
But yeah, they're kind of just scattered. I forgot there was a golfer or two that played the Utah event. But obviously, in this fall, especially because you can't earn FedEx Cup points, so maybe that has to do with it. But you can win money. I mean, what's more important than that? And especially,
okay, Brian.
No, but I'm just saying, especially Scotty Scheffler, he wouldn't roll up to this tournament and be like, I mean, first, you go to Cabo with Meredith. I know, it's a newborn and anything, right? But you're telling me can't get him a nice villa, Tony, in Cabo and just chill out? I don't understand.
No, yeah, I would think you would, right?
Yeah,
like you said, I would. You would.
Yeah. But I guess it's he's like, oh, I just want to focus on the big events, come to see.
Yeah, maybe. And then again, the dad, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So, Yeah, so that's pretty much the tail of the tape here. Also, par 72, and 7,363 yards in length.
A lot of yardage.
So what are you thinking here for a winner and a sleeper?
Let's just double check the odds here for this guy. I just want to make sure I'm not like, for my sleeper, just want to be like, not like, cheating it.
Yeah.
Plus 6,600. That's a sleeper.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
That's 66 to 1.
That's right, dude. All right, dude. So I guess, all right, we're gonna go with my winner, my pick here for the Worldwide Tech. I'm gonna go with Matt Kuchar, dude.
Grizzled vet.
The grizzled vet. I think that, him being that grizzled vet and still honestly relevant to this day. I mean,
almost won a couple tournaments last year.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. One top 10 finish this year. I believe it was at the 3M Open. Yeah, tied for third, 3M Open. Obviously, kind of really struggled at the start. We had 4 cuts in a row: Phoenix, Genesis, Cognizant, Players, but then really kind of dialed in and had some good showings here. So I just think with that, looking for his 10th career win on tour, I think this would be a good time. And I think he's like, top 50% of like gaining strokes approaching the green, which is actually pretty cool. So Matt Kuchar here. I say he wins this one. I don't know, maybe like a 24 under. We'll say it like that. And then for a sleeper here, give me Luke List, a 39-year-old out of Seattle, Washington, dude. A name that Brian's been familiar with. Look at his season. Another guy only one top 10 finish here. So you can say he's due. That top 10 was at the Genesis actually this year. He tied for second. So looking for his 3rd career win. At 66 to 1. Give me Luke List for the sleeper, dude.
Wow. I am gonna go with why am I blanking on this?
Cam Young.
No. Johnny Vegas. Finally got in the winner's circle. I think it had been 8 years, something like that. But this just seems like a tournament. The wide open nature of the course. I think he's gonna do well. And
Veteran.
I think he's kind of trying to jockey in, and I don't know, with a win, maybe he could win, or I don't know if he need more than that, but to get into signature events this coming season too. So I think he's riled up, he's motivated, he gets it done. I'm gonna say 21 under par.
Ooh.
And then in terms of a sleeper here, I have to go with my guy, Joel Damon. I think for this, I know it's tempting, Cabo, the distractions, the drinking, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he puts it all aside and wants to remain a regular on the PGA Tour. Finally, getting his. I mean, where's the win? His career. I didn't.
The one career win.
Yeah.
The
the Punta Cana Club. Okay, so but that was what, 5 years ago, basically.
Yeah.
So he's due, and I think he gets it done. So Joel Damon as a sleeper.
Love it, dude.
And then, given the fall nature, but again, it's like, I mean, I guess there are some other, whether it's LPGA, European Tour, Korn Ferry Tour, there are, Senior Tour, there are other things, but it's amazing how limited the TV coverage is for this. 2 to 5, Thursday to Sunday at Golf Channel. And I don't even see anything about like PGA Tour Live.
Really?
Yeah.
The hell is that about?
Maybe NBC has some bonus coverage.
Yeah, maybe. Tiger design course,
Yeah. The private nature of it all, Tony, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. At like the scores we were seeing though, at 24, 27 under last year, right? Like, is it a hard course? So it doesn't really seem like it.
No, but I mean, I think it's. Don't you think though that like there's like an over exaggeration, when it comes to like how hard or how easy a course is? Like,
yeah,
both could be exciting as long as the outcome is up for grabs. No,
very true. I would say though, I guess maybe if I watch this, see the course, see how it does play, but there's a little bit more like. Build up. If like, oh, there's like sand traps, there's like a hazard here or something, and they have to avoid, like that adds drama,
Yeah.
So it's one thing if these guys are being competitive, but it's another thing if there's like actual like.
But like you got to shoot 59 on Sunday to win. I mean, that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. definitely. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens with this starting tomorrow. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle pick. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rick Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pastrnak. The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
Crazy.
Crazy,
so
crazy,
we had
crazy.
what I think it was 12 games last night in the NHL.
Oh,
and, like
yeah,
we've been
man.
talking about, not any Ranger games,
Nope.
but just kind of running down the results here. The Sabres in preparation of their beatdown at the Garden tomorrow
Yep.
with a 5-1 victory over the Senators. Lukakunin, 37 of 38
There you
in
go.
net.
Good
I have to
goalie.
say this result surprised me. This to me seemed more like a game where it could come down to the final minutes. Kind of impressive for Buffalo to get a win over a Senators team, as we saw with the Rangers, that they're not exactly like easy to play against.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, Lukanen was on top of his game there. 974 save percentage for the night. Because the Senators are, like you said, they're a gritty team. They're hard to put away. They have talent for sure, and a bolstered goaltender this season. But I guess I don't know. Maybe the Senators having trouble with Buffalo's second line or third lines. Maybe. I mean, look at Byram, the defender, with 2 goals. Peterka, if that's how you say his name, also with 2 goals. It'd be interesting to see like where those guys are at on their years. Must be like younger players. But I mean, sometimes that happens. I mean, you're a team like Ottawa. You want to focus on certain guys. Tage Thompson,
Who scored his 8th,
or Owen Powers, or something like that.
Or
You kind of forget.
Bowen Byram, who might be like my new favorite like name out there, huh? That's a pretty good one.
Oh my God, dude, it's a great name. Yeah,
2
exactly.
goals for
dude.
Byram, 2 goals for JJ Peterka.
Yeah, exactly, dude. So it's like, it's interesting. Alex Tuck, you try, Dylan Cousins, you rely on those guys to come back, a key on them. All of a sudden now it's the left winger getting the goal and stuff like that. So, but hey, maybe the Sabres are kind of I don't know, maybe they're gaining some headway here, because I mean, I gotta look at those guys. Obviously, I don't know much about those specific players, but I mean, Buffalo last year for me was a little bit of a dark horse team with, Tage and
because
Alex
of
Tuck
2 years
and stuff,
ago,
dude.
what was it? Was it Tage 4 goals or 5 goals?
I think it was 5 goals.
Yeah,
So, like,
and he had like 40 goals that year.
yeah,
And
dude, he was
last year,
killing it.
little setback.
And then Owen Powers is a huge defenseman that was, highly touted, high in the draft. So it's like they have a lot of youthful talent that could be developed. So it should be interesting to see what happens, dude.
And I feel like they're a team, they have the longest drought in the NHL in terms of playoffs, right?
I'm actually not
Pretty sure. If
Let's
you look that up. But they're a team that I would like to see get together, because I just think it makes more fun, and to kind of have like a
Sabres, yeah, 13
interstate
seasons.
rivalry with the Rangers. That I think that'd be kind of cool, no?
Yeah, I've always liked Buffalo growing up.
Yeah.
And then their jerseys were the logo, the Buffalo, the black jersey. It's
the
sick,
logo
dude.
is sick.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Was that ever a thing like back in the day, or not really?
I guess maybe it's more developed talent, Bowen Byram, your guy, 23 years old. Rasmus Dahlin, their captain, is 24 here. I know this obviously. Owen Power, 22. And I know this is obviously a young man's league here. Dylan Cousins, 23. Peterka, also 23. Jack Quinn, also 23. Like obviously, like they just need years, I think, to develop here. And it's Peterka. That's how you say it. Peterka.
Okay.
From Germany. Second round, 34th overall pick by Buffalo, 2020. So these guys, like, they just need more experience, I think, is really what it is at the end of the day. More experience together, specifically playing as well. And I think maybe Buffalo could be set up for something special to happen. I mean, who's the dude they got from New Jersey? Damn, what's his name? Was it McLeod?
That name sounds familiar.
There's a McLeod who was on Jersey. I mean, just interested to see. Oh, this is the one from Edmonton. But but still, they need more players like that. Like I know he's only 25, but he has a few years under his belt with a good organization. I guess we'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell here.
Yeah. So you hope. I think it would just be good for the league. You like seeing playoff droughts snapped as well. Maybe if it's like a real rival team, you wouldn't. But I think in this scenario, it would be nice to see them back in the mix, especially with the talent that they have at some of these positions. We were talking about this pre-show. Pretty much a surprise here. The Leafs 4-0. Against Boston. I didn't think it would be that decisive. Stellaris, pitching the shutout here, and Swayman, 23 to 26. Yeah, hasn't been great since getting the contract extension. And this is a game too where all the talent, whether it's Domi and Tavares and Marner, that none of those guys score, and it doesn't matter. And by the way, what's Austin Matthews is injured?
I'm not sure what it is. I know he was day to day. I know that.
Okay, so maybe we just like
see what we got going on here. Austin Matthews, day to day upper body.
Okay, gotcha. But all those guys kind of off the score sheet. I mean, I know Nylander had his 10th, but Riley, Nyes, and Lorentz were the other goal scorers. So job well done for Toronto. But obviously the thing with them is always what are they going to do come the postseason time? And I know we've talked about this before, and I was even telling you, my friends from up north were saying how everybody doesn't like Toronto. What's the context behind that again? Do you know? Like everybody in Canada, like unless you're like in Toronto, like everyone just absolutely despises the Maple Leafs.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Everybody but Toronto. That's what
I would imagine
Tommy would know that.
It's just that rivalry. I mean, Toronto has the second most cups in the NHL.
They just haven't had one in 50 years.
Exactly. They've been rebuilding since like 1979.
Yeah.
But then obviously the Canadiens are the winning most team. So maybe it's that, Montreal, Toronto, that type of rivalry that was bolstered, especially if you're from Canada too. I mean, Canadiens obviously like original team here, storied past franchise. Like I'm sure they're like, if you're not a Canadiens fan, like what are you doing?
Get out of here.
Like, yeah, exactly.
But so I just thought that was interesting. The Flames, Matt Coronado, the hero OT winner against the Canadiens at the Bell Center. So 3-2 Flames pick up the victory there. So they're a team, we've talked about where we're not, expecting much. What's the deal with Coronado? Is he a younger player? Or?
Yeah, he's definitely very young. He's from Huntington, New York, dude.
Okay.
And he was drafted 13th overall 2021 by the Flames.
Nice. So,
and I guess if you want to look at some of his stats here. So far, look at his couple of years, obviously under his belt.
So he hasn't played much, it looks like.
Hasn't played a ton. Last year was his biggest season, 34 games, only 9 points at right wing here. So obviously he's a work in progress. I wonder where he went to. Let's see where he went to college. Wow, he went to Harvard.
So
good for that guy, dude.
Is there a big Harvard presence in the NHL or no?
There are. Jimmy Vesey, I know, he went to Harvard.
Okay.
And there's definitely a couple in there. I mean, Ivy League hockey, it does play a little bit.
And speaking of play, 6-4 over Philadelphia last night for the Hurricanes at PNC Arena. They're now 9-2 on the season. And they got goals in this one from Blake Robinson, Martinuk, and Jack Roslovich. How about this? Jack Roslovich, Tony, has 7 goals for the Hurricanes through 11 games. Are you kidding me?
Like, that's kind of wild,
right? I mean, I think any Ranger fan seeing that, because I didn't see it. Oh, and by the way, Tommy says Fox is Harvard.
Adam Fox. Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. I didn't know Alexis Lafreniere.
And he also says scary scene with Holloway getting stretchered off the bench last night.
Yeah,
I heard about that on the radio. I didn't see the highlights.
Yeah, I don't know.
Off the neck, right?
Yeah. It was a puck off the neck. I was watching it, and I don't know, man. It was very, very weird. He did finish his shift. Like, he was on the ice for, I don't know, maybe another like 40 seconds, but comes off, whatever. Obviously has something wrong. Like, he, grabbing at his neck, trainer, and then all of a sudden, like, they have to stop the game. Trainers come out, they're talking to him. And it's just a very, scary situation, because the trainer was holding his head like stiff, like to support it, and they didn't want to move him.
Okay.
because they weren't sure what was really going on.
Neck, spine.
Yeah, it's what they're worried about. But I don't know. I mean, I saw that he was in stable condition, could use his extremities. So I like that. That's good. But it was just very weird because even the way they stretched him off the bench, it was almost like it felt like it was almost like precautionary, you know. I don't want to like downplay anything because that obviously it looked pretty serious. It looked scary.
Yeah. So obviously, prayers up for him and hoping for a speedy recovery. Are you surprised? I mean, I know it's early on, but just the Hurricanes, losing Gensel in the offseason, and it seems like they're not missing a beat here at 6-4. I mean, not 6-4, but 9-2, winning 6-4.
Winning 6-4. I mean, am I like surprised? Or
yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was this thought that maybe they've peaked, but I guess they do still have some younger players. I mean, do you expect them to be a threat, or do you feel like they're just a similar team to what they've been the last couple of years?
No, I would think that they are a threat, dude. I mean, Martinook is someone that was giving the Rangers a problem.
First goal of the season, too. He hasn't even got going. So that's even
there
more
we go,
of a
dude.
positive.
They have Nikos, who's always been good. Jack Drury, who actually went to Harvard as well.
Any relation?
I think it's his nephew. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the storyline during the playoffs, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think so.
I think I remember that.
Sebastian Aho, dude, Kotkaniemi. I mean, they have so much, and they have Roslovic. We know who's a hard skater. Jordan Stahl, veteran, seems to never stop playing.
Kind of like a Phil Kessel.
Kind of like yeah. It's Brett Burns. Brett Burns. Yeah. I'm talking about a wily vet, dude. And then they're Dmitry Orlov, Gostisbehere, Slavin. I mean, they're they're a team that's so deep. I never really expected them to go anywhere, to be honest.
And we were talking about this before the show. The Isles pulling one out of the Derriere. I believe we're down 3-1 in the third. Come back to win 4-3 in a shootout over the Penguins at UBS. Bo Horvat, the winner through the 5-hole. I mean, obviously a much needed win for the Islanders who moved to 5-6-2.
Yeah, dude. I think great game by Sorokin. He had a lot of chances,
saves.
32 saves, 35 there, which is great. Seeing him kind of get back into his wheelhouse is nice. And especially for, Islanders team here, missing Matthew Barzal to injury, clamoring for some offense, to see them get a shutout win here is huge. And I mean, I don't know. It's tough, too, because if I'm the Penguins, I feel like really let the Islanders kind of stick around. I mean, Crosby scores first. Malkin scored the second to make it 2-1, in the second period here on the power play. And it's like you watch those two goals, and they were just very, methodical, thought out, planned goals. Offense that we don't see often from the Islanders. And, Palmieri's goal, I think Holstrom's goal too on the power play. I mean, it was just dirty goals in front of the net that were either deflected or maybe the Islanders won one battle and they find themselves with the puck in a good situation. So I just feel like the Penguins at 5-7-2, they haven't been great by any means. They got to get it together. They got to start playing a little more buttoned up, Brian, as you would say. But for now, from the Islanders, Bo Horvat, great move in the shootout. And I mean, maybe that could spark something on their team here because they need it.
Yeah. And I know it's so tough. But if you had to say, who do you think ends up with a better record this year?
Ooh, wow. I'm gonna go with the Islanders, dude.
Really?
Yeah, they were they were surprising down the stretch of last season.
To get in.
Exactly. Yeah. They played really hard. After also, go figure, Barzal was injured for a little bit. And they had to deal with that for, he's been an injury fucking problem for them. But I think these guys, again, if John Gabriel Pajot, someone who really could step up,
killing their cap,
dude, terrible deal they have for him. I believe he came over from Ottawa. I forget, to be honest. But if he plays like he should be playing, that's someone who they could rely on to win them games. I mean, a goal on 5 shots last night. That's keep it up. Let's go.
The Blues, 3-2 over the Lightning. So that kind of surprised me a little bit, but Binnington, with a decent game there, 21-23. Kyrou with a goal and an assist. I know it's still early, but I don't know. I'm surprised that the Lightning have struggled the way that they have.
I mean, I don't know, man. I think maybe. I think they missed their captain. Yeah, I think they missed Steven Stamkos.
And he hasn't been doing that great.
He hasn't been doing great with Nashville by any means. At least I don't think so. I think I still see him getting set up on the power play for them, like bread and butter one-timers. But I don't know, man. I mean, especially for a team like Tampa Bay, you look at them and how they've traded captains in the past. Very interesting. I think that this time maybe it didn't work out because Steven Stamkos was, he was a career Lightning.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is what it is. They traded him, but I mean, I think clearly that's what they're missing there because they have the talent. Vasilevsky has been doing all right, and he's not, he didn't even face a lot of shots last time. Only 23 shot attempts there. So it's like, why are we 7-6? You know?
Yeah. Very odd. I mean, I would expect them.
Someone's got to pull it together in the locker room.
Yeah, to improve upon that. So be something interesting to watch. I guess the Wild were due for a loss, 5-1 at home against the Kings. That result surprised me. Byfield with a goal and an assist, and Warren Fogle as well, Tony. So this Kings team off to a good start. I mean, what do you?
I've always been kind of hot on them. They got a good young players here. I mean, Quinton Byfield, second overall pick, 2021 maybe by the Kings. Kind of a bust, like ever since he's been on the team, really. So I mean, I don't know if he's someone he's on the third line right now. I think 5 shots, a goal and assist. If he plays like that all year long, that's someone who could propel them to being competitive, to making the playoffs decisively, to get in there. Because Kevin Fiala, another guy we talked about, a goal and 6 shots. Fogle has experience from Edmonton. Obviously, know about Kopitar. And then Trevor Lewis. Trevor Lewis is good. 2 goals last night. Great. Trevor Moore, I think, is what I'm talking about. He's undrafted, I think. Gritty player, got onto the Kings, has been kind of working his way up. I think first good full season last year, 55 points, I think, in the year. He builds upon that. They can do really good. The only thing I can see maybe where they could fault here is maybe the defense. I mean, they have some veterans, Edmondson, I guess maybe Anderson too. They've been around the league a little bit, but not great. They're kind of like truish defensemen, but again, not great defensemen. And their goalie, I guess, Rittich. I mean, I know. Why am I blanking on their actual starter? The guy who started yesterday, 2 days ago, rather, on the back-to-back. It's not Darcy, is it?
It is.
It is Darcy Kemper. Yeah. I mean, listen, that guy has won a cup with Colorado, but again, we always argued he was never that great, relied on a lot of good offense. LA doesn't have that type of offense. Maybe they could have spurts of it, but they're not going to be that great probably, in terms of scoring. So, I don't know. They're going to have to get a defenseman at the deadline. Maybe Kemper can start standing on his head soon,
Yeah.
That's what they would need. They need good goaltending, better defense.
Yeah. So, some vets on that team. So it'll be interesting to see, moving forward, where they find themselves. And I think the Wild, just an off night.
They were looking pretty sluggish, dude.
And who else was looking sluggish? The Utah Hockey Club shut out Hellebuck, Tony. I believe a 21 save shutout, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
3-0. Now 12-1. So really looking for revenge on a strong regular season last year where they almost were first in the West and ended up losing the first round of Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. I mean, I think got an unfortunate draw there against the Avalanche, even though you would think, they don't get great regular season, but I mean, they're that team that can turn it on. They understand what's at stake in the playoffs, and they play entirely differently, So obviously Jets try to build upon that. And right now they are one of the hottest teams in the league at 12-1, like you were saying. Gabriel Velarde netting a goal here. Velarde, someone who I was hot on when he was on the Kings 2 years ago. They traded him away, but obviously paying dividends here for Winnipeg. I forget who they traded him away for. Then Nico Niederreiter, veteran from Minnesota.
Yeah, I did. Name seemed familiar. I wasn't sure where he was.
I don't know where else he was from, but I know him mostly for being from Minnesota there. So him having a big game. And I mean, obviously Hellebuck is going to be the storyline here, picking up where he was last year as one of the top goaltenders in the league, Brian. And I mean, this team, I know it's Utah, and you can put lipstick on the pig because Utah is still the Coyotes, so I mean, I know it's like not that surprising, but I mean, if Winnipeg, Kyle Connor, arguably their better player, was not on the score sheet, so if they get going, it could be tough.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a threat, and
Heavy
I
threat.
think they will bring out the best in the Rangers at the Garden on Tuesday night.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to that. The Avalanche 6-3 over the Kraken, so a bounce back win for them. They're now 6-7. How about McKinnon and Makar? No goals, but combining for 7 assists. So two of their
See, if you really want to break it down, they are a better LA Kings roster, I guess you could say. Defense better, offense obviously way better. Goaltending up in the air. Georgiev is just like a huge question mark. Nunez looked great. Obviously, let a few get past him last night, but I mean, obviously, this game I think it's all Nathan McKinnon, dude, and obviously the 5 assists there on the 6 goals for his team definitely shows that. But I mean, I think Nathan McKinnon just was kind of tight at the fact that Colorado is under 500. You know, like it's
this
with this
roster
talent,
is way too good to only. And I know there's no such thing as only one Stanley Cup. Ask us,
Right.
30-year plus drought. But don't you think so? Like that, I just feel like that shouldn't be the peak of this core of players. There's so much talent there.
You're totally right. And young talent and veteran talent, the mix.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're a team that has struggled to get their goaltending situation down pat.
Should they have kept Darcy?
I don't know. I mean, not for nothing. He won the cup with them.
Yeah.
If he has a huge year for, ironically, LA, I mean, it would look definitely bad upon their organization for getting rid of him. But if a Noonan comes in here, I mean, it's tough because, I mean, you really wouldn't expect Georgiev to not be good. You know, you would think you pick him up and he's your goaltender for the next 8 seasons.
We won the trade so far.
That is for sure. But I don't know, maybe the defensive breakdowns here. I mean, I'm looking, at Calvin DeHaan. I mean, I'm not sure how old he is, but I mean, he was on the Islanders for a pretty long time. And it's like, was he even really that great? 33 years old? Nah. First round pick by the Islanders in 2009 again, but that's like, well over a decade ago. So it's like, what are we doing at defense? Obviously, you got Makar, who's been great. Sam Girard, I believe, who was a top pick by, I don't know, maybe Nashville. Yeah, second round pick by Nashville. But again, obviously they traded him. So it's like, he hasn't really been up to par. Obviously, they're looking maybe to develop him some more. I don't know much those other 2 guys, but then Devon Taves, he's been in the league for a while. He's all right. He's good. I like him.
Any relation to Jonathan or no?
No. So I don't know. Pretty interesting there. But again, in Colorado, like I said, this is Nathan McKinnon all day long. If they're going to want to win the cup, like, I don't care if Renton has 2 goals. Like, I don't care that you have Casey Middlestat as like a third line center or whatever. Like, you got to figure out how to play defense and defend your net.
Maybe we have an extra defender we could throw him and then get that third line center, right?
I mean, that would be cool, dude. Why not? Why not? I mean, they're gonna have to be buyers at the deadline. I would imagine they're gonna want to help their defense.
Yeah, and I would imagine the record is going to start getting better. What do you think about Tommy saying Hellebuck is way too early Vezina winner prediction?
I don't think it's too far fetched. I mean, obviously, listen, Tommy here is being non-biased. All right, obviously, we can all preach Igor. Of course he does. Of course, he's been killing it too. But Connor Hellebuck, and you even want to go off the season he had last year, he was the top 3 goaltender in the league.
Who won it last year?
The Vezina Trophy?
Yeah.
Was it not Igor?
He did win it.
Was that 2 years ago? God damn it, dude. The memory loss. Igor, who won? I think, it was Connor Hellebuck.
Oh, so going back to back, huh? Potentially.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I don't know how many times that have done it. Yeah, and then Igor was
in 2022. Marc-Andre Fleury in 2021, and then Hellebuck won it in 2020. So this would be his 3rd. Wow, I didn't. How old is he?
30.
Okay, so young start to the career, and he's just been there.
He's 31. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, Date joined Winnipeg 2015.
Okay, interesting. So, something to watch for sure. And then the last 2 games of the night, a convincing 5-1 win for the Canucks over the Sharks at the Honda Center. I think I did take the Ducks in this one, but obviously the Canucks probably the more well-rounded team.
Chalk.
Bowser Tony had a goal and an assist, and then Quinn Hughes with 3 assists as well. So the Canucks obviously a strong season last year, but just like Winnipeg, didn't follow it up in the postseason. You think they're going to find themselves back there once again?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know though what their deal is with their tender because they should have Thatcher Demko, who got hurt going into the postseason last year, which is a huge reason why I think they were knocked out. But I don't know. I think he had a hip problem. I want to put Darcy Kemper. It's Thatcher Demko. Like, what is his deal? Morning skate, taking shots, injury update 15 hours ago. Obviously, have been without him so far. Yes, knee injury last March. I guess it was his knee. So hey, I mean, there you go, dude. Obviously, if he comes back healthy, again, you want to talk about really like playing some good hockey for Vancouver. I mean, Thatcher Demko was looking really good, dude. So I think if they have their tender back, like, yeah, for sure.
And you know who looked like one of the best tenders in the league last night was former Devil Vita Vanacek. Like, when he was in contention for the Vezina a couple years ago, 49 of 50.
Crazy.
You know, stopping the Columbus Blue Jackets here. So a 2-1 overtime win for the Sharks. Wenberg, the former Ranger great, not really, but his third of the year, you know, gives them the W. I mean, recycled goods paying off here for the Sharks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's probably what the Sharks can rely on. You know, they got, I mentioned yesterday too, Barclay Goodrow as well. You know, from the Rangers.
I kind of miss hearing Kenny Albert say Barclay Goodrow.
Goodrow.
The way he says it, I don't know.
So funny. But I mean, you said it, dude. I mean, Vitek Vanacek, 49 saves. That's wild. If I'm Columbus, I'm like, you know, probably hit my head against the wall.
Because Merzlikins, who played so well against us last year, had a great game himself, 25 of 27.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, just that OT one given up, it's tough, dude. So obviously, if you're, you know, San Jose, you're 4-8-2, you want to enjoy the win, but you know, they got a lot of work to do.
And it's kind of, I just thought of this with Kenny Albert. I believe it, but at the same time, it's like, like it's kind of tough that this is Sam Rosen's last year.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think about that too much, to be honest, dude.
You think Kenny is like the 100% gonna get like the nod?
I have no idea, to be honest. I guess
think he should.
Yeah, I think he should. Yeah. He's good.
So I'm trying to think, is there anybody else who?
I don't know if they would bring up like a studio guy or I don't know. I mean, like.
But I'm saying there has been like in the last 5 years, has anybody else been the play-by-play other than them two on MSG?
No, not that I've seen.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, those guys don't miss games, you know.
It would have to be externally. But I feel like Kenny would be riled, and I'm sure he's been waiting, you know, for like because the Knicks obviously. Right?
He scores!
Yeah. I would think so, dude.
Oh man. We lost the scores though from me, though, right?
Oh, yeah. We don't have that one. We just got Kenny.
Oh man, that's an all-time classic, Tony.
That is right.
That's for sure. So again, you know, with the scheduling scenario, only 3 games tonight in the National Hockey League.
That's right, dude.
Preds Caps, Red Wings Blackhawks. That's your national game on TNT, True TV, and Max. And then the Knights and the Oilers, a pretty good West Coast matchup there. So what's going to happen? Let's see in a Wednesday night edition of the Frozen Frenzy
here on this hump day. We're starting off in the nation's capital, rightfully so, after Election Day, Brian. Let's go. The Caps are hosting the Nashville Predators. Speaking of Steven Stamkos here, the Predators coming in here at plus 105. Not so much of a value bet, but the over-under is 6.5. Look at these two teams face each other for the first time this year, both coming off losses. The Preds most recently shut out by LA. The Caps could not handle the Hurricanes, losing 4-2. I mean, what do you think here? Matchup goalies are kind of similar. Caps, though, at 8-3, have had a lot more offense.
Yeah, so just because of that, I do have to go with the Capitals. And Chuck Lindgren, I'm sure, will do a good job in net. Ovechkin still playing pretty well, given that he's like 39 years old. And they got the other, you know, grizzled vets over there as well, Strome and Wilson. So I think they beat a Nashville team that deep down they know that they're more talented than and better than. So I think it's a 4-2 win, kind of flipping the script from last game. And I'm going to say Ovechkin with a goal and 3 assists.
Wow.
Lindgren
I'm going to go take this. I'm going to go Caps and the under as well. I think Stamkos, Ovechkin are your two lone goal scorers for the night. Ovi, though, early the third period, makes it 2-1. That is your final score. Let's freaking go, dude. Next game here, best game, 8 p.m. Just 2 games left here. We're going to Chicago, baby. They're taking on the Red Wings. Nice two historical teams here. Love to see that. Obviously Blackhawks here 5-7-1. Red Wings 5-5-1. Detroit -120 coming in here, which is pretty interesting. Over under also 6.5. Alex Lyon and Peter Mrazek getting the starts here for the Tenders. Both teams coming off of wins. What do you think here for Bedard and the boys?
Like kind of similar to your prediction for the previous game. I like the Bedard having both goals for the Blackhawks, willing them to win. And I think Larkin with the goal for the Red Wings, but a 2-1 Chicago win and maybe the start of a turnaround season for Chicago. Bedard, one of the brightest stars in the NHL. So the Blackhawks and the under.
I'm going to go Red Wings here. I'm going to get my boy Lyon in the house. Let's pitch the shutout for him. Why not, dude? He's due for his second of the season. Dylan Larkin, too. You know how I feel about him. But why not Patrick Kane in the house? Former team. Let's go, dude.
Video.
2 goals and the assist. Another tribute video. Why not? Dylan Larkin, the goal and 2 assists here. Red Wings win 4-0. Red Wings and the under there, Josh B. The under. Let's game here, 8:30 p.m. Let's go to Edmonton. The Oilers, Brian's second favorite team. Rogers plays taking on Las Vegas. The Golden Knights here even. Edmonton -120 on the money line. Over under also 6.5. Goaltenders, Aiden Hill, not off to a good year. Good for Edmonton. Edmonton 6-6, middling. The Knights coming off a huge OT win against Utah. Oilers got blanked by the Devils with no McDavid. What do you got here?
They don't have Kane as well. He's on IR.
That's right.
McDavid won't play for this game
That's
as well.
right.
So, going into this, just looking at it, I would have taken Edmonton, but those are 2 big pieces to be missing. So I like the Knights in this one. They've been playing well this season at 8-3. So I want to say this looks like a 3-1 Knights victory. So a Knights and the under.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one. I'm going to go Knights in the over, though. I think this could get ugly. It could get late early here for Edmonton. Not for nothing, I know there's a lot more talent on the team, but Draisaitl signed the big contract, the extension, earning the most money in the hockey league, I think, annually. Doesn't really matter. Maybe it's still bad things, I don't know. But he's not living up to not having McDavid in the lineup here. 16 points in the year. It's good. Mark Stone from the Knights has 20, 15 of them coming from assists. Ivan Barbashev, I think 2 goals for him. Mark Stone hits a goal and 2 assists. I mean, I think it's going to be a dreadful night if you're an Oiler. Knights win. I'll say, I don't know, maybe 7-2. Knights and the over.
And just like that, that is your Wednesday edition of the Frozen Frenzy. And Josh B needs your best bets out of all the games. LOL.
That's a great question, dude. I mean, honestly, I'm loving the Red Wings here.
Wow.
I really am, and I know they're -122. It's tough, dude. But hey, I mean, I would if you want to do maybe let's just do a money line parlay, 3 games. Let's do Caps, Red Wings, Oilers.
You mean Knights, right?
Knights rather. Yeah, Caps, Red Wings, Knights. That's what you're looking at. Anytime goal scorers. I think you can. I mean, I'm staying in line with the shutout, so I wouldn't do Bedard. I do think Ovi, he's dying to get that Gretzky record. He's got to be like maybe 37 goals away or something like that. And I think, if the Oilers are going to score, it's going to have to be Draisaitl. So do Ovi, Draisaitl. And then why not do the Patrick Kane? That'll probably pay some good dividends.
Yeah, that right? I like the Kane angle. That's a good one. He says best bet period, not good, but it's okay. I don't know what that means, but I know for me, and I know it sounds funny coming again for me, but I would say Golden Knights.
That's probably your best value because they're even.
Yeah, I don't care about trap. Nah, I don't know if there's that many traps with hockey betting as well. So yeah, I would say unequivocally, Josh, go with the Knights.
I guess maybe Knights, their 3 losses have come on the road, so they haven't won on the road.
Very true.
That's kind of crazy. They've had all their wins. Their 8 wins are in home games.
Yeah.
And they have 3 losses, 1 OT loss, all on the road. Interesting.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. And like we said, we're excited to get back on the ice ourselves with the Rangers tomorrow. Let's just before we wrap up, take a quick trip to the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
All right. So the NBA off last night, back in action tonight. Locally here, the Knicks in Atlanta to take on the Hawks.
Here we go, dude.
It's been an uneven start to the season. 3-3 so far, including a 2-2 record away from Madison Square Garden. And just listening to DNR a little bit, it seems like some Knicks fans kind of bugging out already, like, they should have traded for Towns and all this stuff. I think they're going to be just fine, but I think sometimes, especially in the NBA, your starting 5, chemistry is a big part of it. I just think they need more time to play together.
Yeah, I feel like that was the sentiment even going into this year with this crew. Even Mike was talking about that, previewing the season. Is that the squad that they did have too? I think that's what people were worried about, is that the fact that the squad they did have looked great, and it also was that sentiment where it's they keep playing together, they're gonna get better. Where now it seems like we made these moves, the Knicks made those moves, and it's are we better? We made a move, but are we better now?
But don't you think it might not show in the record right now, but long term that they are going to end up being better?
Yeah, no, I do think so.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of rumors going around about Towns being moved to bring Giannis in, stuff like that.
I just feel like it's not going to happen.
I don't know, dude. Giannis is he not playing because he's hurt right now? So last game I saw, I think.
Yeah, I'm that whole
on Monday. I think I'm not sure if they're sitting before that. Regardless, something's fishy in Milwaukee. The coaching changes and stuff. Nothing's good over there, it seems. So I don't know.
Not a coincidence, right?
Yeah, no. And then Mike was telling me too. The coach that they won the championship with, they got rid of 4 Rivers, right?
So there was someone else put
in
place,
between.
Yes, and then they fired him after a couple months.
Why?
They just didn't think he could be a playoff coach. But then
what was wrong with the first guy that won the championship?
Because I want to say there was a couple of years past that they didn't do well. It's just one of those things.
It's tough, dude.
It is tough, and especially Milwaukee. It's not recently they've won a bunch of titles, so you finally win one.
Mm-hmm. But Dame isn't playing well now.
But I'm guessing that Giannis was behind that as well. I'm sure he would say no, but usually you're not gonna make a move like that if your star player's not on board.
Yeah, no, totally right here. But it should be interesting to see what happens with them, and obviously if he does win with the Knicks. But like you said, in terms of waiting to see the Knicks finally play well together, that's just, I feel like, typical Knick fan base just being impatient, which rightfully so. They've been waiting to be good and everything for a long time. It's like they were tasting it, and now I feel like that level of certainty has taken a step back a little bit. There is more question. It's all right, let's see. We got to wait again to see if they're going to be good.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have to wait that long, though. I think.
Well, what do they have to wait on here tonight? You think they're gonna be
they'll beat Atlanta. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Trae Young can't be the best player on a winning team. That's what it feels like to me, because it's every time you look up, they're fighting to just make the playoffs. They're 10 under 500. They're 15 under 500. And that maybe have something to do with his shooting. I think it can be, inconsistent.
The NBA here, but I say give me the Knicks and I say they cover. Yeah. Why not, dude? Emphatic victory. I said they win by 12
better
points,
than
dude.
Atlanta.
Yep. They're going to be fired up. Trae Young recently. The fans still tied Atlanta.
What was that, 2 years ago,
That was
right?
2 years ago? The first round,
I
right,
think so,
dude?
yeah. things were getting heated.
Things were getting heated. The fans at the Garden, they were fucking tight, making fun of Trae Young, whatever, dude. So I think they're gonna be out for revenge here.
Another team off to an uneven start would be the Lakers. And last game losing to Detroit, that felt a little embarrassing. I'm surprised Mr. Butka didn't give us anything on that. Because I think we were talking about the game. We're like, oh, well, that's just one of those things you just chalk up to win. But
classic.
The NBA, we see that happen all the time. So this is a tough one in Memphis. AD questionable with an ankle injury. So we're just talking about him staying healthy. It doesn't seem to be serious, but I don't know. Ja kind of fired up, back in the mix here. Has played well so far, almost averaging 20 and 10 to start the season. So I wouldn't be surprised if Memphis won here. Especially if AD doesn't play. I'm sure that line will go up as well.
Yeah, if AD doesn't play, I would hit Memphis up. Let's go. You see, Ja Morant made some crazy, Mike showed me, some crazy dunk move. It was ridiculous.
He's
jumped
so
over
ridiculous.
Somebody.
If he could just
so athletic,
that head on straight.
Yeah.
He's gonna be one of the all-time greats.
Yeah, that's for sure, dude.
Cleveland 8-0. I feel like that's something that most people don't even know, Tony.
Nope.
Mitchell, a good start to the season. I've always liked Jared Allen since his days with the Nets. And Darius Garland has been a welcomed addition for my fantasy team, averaging over 20 points as well. He's a guy that, was highly touted coming out of Vanderbilt, 2019 draft 5th overall pick.
There we go.
Kind of has been forgotten about, but off to a good start for the Cavs. So interesting. Obviously, they're a team that, especially post LeBron, has struggled to do, anything in the playoffs. But I think they're 8-0 for a reason. So
yeah,
that's a storyline to watch. And do you know much about Jared Allen or no? Do you remember him on the Nets at all? Or
big dude?
Yeah, Afro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he's always just been one of my favorite players. I used to use him in 2K a lot. Because I just feel like
2K, dude.
You're us. I know we get. We need our 3-pointers. I don't even think he shoots 3-pointers, but you look at those numbers; those are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But I just think there's value to a big man that could run the floor, play defense, grab double-digit. Are you kidding?
Literally, yeah. Madden just run the ball. You know,
the water jugs.
Let's go. The water jugs are full. Jared Allen up the court.
Let's go.
Let's go, dude. How about Isaac Okoro, dude?
Where
off the bench?
Where's he gone though? I haven't heard his name in a while now.
Yeah, no. 8 games here. I don't know. It's got 20 minutes. Looks like 5 points.
Minutes, dude.
Not a lot of minutes there, dude. Yeah, 5th overall pick, huh? They're just waiting for him, huh?
I guess so.
Looks like against Milwaukee, he played how many minutes? 28 minutes. Had 13 points. An assist and 8 rebounds. 1 steal.
That card value got to go up.
Yeah, he's got to play better. Let's fucking go, dude. But he's 23 years old, right? He's got a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's true. So good start there. How are you? I'm trying to think. I guess so. There's only been 1 day of play, but how's the start been for fantasy? I know it's rough the first 2 weeks. No category wins?
Not one.
Wow.
But hey, right now we're playing oh my god, are we playing Josh B? We are playing Josh B. Which is pretty interesting here. Oh wait, no, that's not Josh B. Is it Josh B? The Whorcats is Josh B? No.
Yes.
It is. I thought so.
Do you know what that means, by the way?
No, dude.
Neither do I.
Is it something weird? Something about Thundercats, maybe? Something about the Thundercats and He-Man, maybe? I don't know, dude. Josh B's, he's deep in there, man. But I don't know. He's in 8th place, and who am I to talk down in 12th with 0 points, 0 wins here. But right now, like I said, we're 3 to 4 right now. He's in the lead, 3 to 4.
No games yesterday.
He's got I don't know, 17 points on us, 10 more rebounds, 17 more assists. But we got to figure it out, dude. We've been doing all right, dude. The starting lineups have been looking better. Teams, players have been doing it. Mike's been sending me moves to make here. Bring up Grady Dick for the Raptors.
It's been riled for him. Yeah,
everyone's been riled for Dick. Come on,
It
man.
seemed a little like.
What am I supposed to do? His name is Dick. Like, what am I supposed to say?
I don't know. Dude.
Like any move, I can't say his last name. Great move by
I
Grady.
think you could have just said it without making the joke, and like nothing would have been said. Like, but I'm not like you, Tony. Always searching.
But if I said it was wild for Dick, you would have been like,
you don't need to say that. No, that's the difference.
I mean, it's how I feel.
I'm actually matched up. This is a good one against the first. It's first and second place, so I'm in second right now. The counter, who is Blake, who I'm not familiar with, but it's a 4-4 matchup right now. So needless to say, I have been kind of jacked up for the start of this season. I feel like the drafts went pretty well. Obviously, a little concerned about AD, but I think he'll be okay. And then Zach Edey, I think Michael chuckled at the notion that I drafted him, but 25-12, 10-10, 10-8, last 3 games.
That's what you need.
Yeah,
that is what you need, dude.
So yeah, I always enjoy fantasy basketball. Good buffer till the time, especially after football ends and then before baseball. Nice to have a fantasy basketball team, and I actually have 2 this year for the first time, which is nice. And then just a couple other quick things here. A little local feel, Tony.
Yeah.
Do the Sacred Heart Pioneers cover the 35.5 at Gamble this evening? 7:00. FS1, defending champs.
Like, not a shot.
I know.
There's no way. Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
But you know what's interesting? And I know.
Who's not playing for UConn? Is that like, are they starting their starters or?
I mean, yeah. College, you're not resting stars unless someone's injured, but I'm not aware of any injuries.
Even against Sacred Heart, they're going to start their A squad?
Yeah, because they know that the second half, most likely, they don't need to play any of those guys. But then again, you never know.
So, does that get tricky with the spread then? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's
so like that's kind of tough.
Yeah.
I still say no way though. Like, I mean, like UConn, are they gonna put up like 90?
They might put up 110. It's gonna be ugly.
So like, and then what? Like, Sacred Heart's gonna have maybe 50.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be embarrassing.
Like, so come on, man.
Tickets as low as $14. But I'm sure the energy will be through the building. The 2-time defending champs getting their season started.
Connecticut rivalry.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. Gonzaga game at the Garden next month, and I believe Michael Bucket said he was going to be at this one, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's going to be like on cloud 9.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll try to get Hurley to give him a wave or something.
Oh,
but you never know with these early season games. Like Riley, I don't know if you saw this. Riley on Twitter was kind of tweeting about it. Providence had their opener, and I watched part of it. They had this weird like whip around coverage because it was the first day of college basketball where they had they just kept jumping in and out of games,
like a red zone almost. Yeah.
And they were at home against Central Connecticut and won by 3 points. And
oh shit!
I don't know what the spread was, but I would imagine it was at least like 20 going into the game. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend like that wasn't a big deal. Had it the whole way or something." Like a sarcastic Riley tweet. Point being, you never know. I know St. John's blew the doors down against Fordham by like 40. A lot of hype for the Johnnies. Apparently Patino crushed the portal.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
let's go,
obviously
dude.
missing the tournament last year, turning down the NIT invitation. So obviously looking to be a contender in March. And then Rutgers starts as a top 25 team. They're at home, Jersey Mike's Arena in Piscataway, New Jersey.
That's what it's called.
Have you ever been like to that campus or near the campus or anything? Or
Rutgers?
Yeah.
I think I toured it when my brother was looking for colleges. He looked at it, and it was just like, I don't know. It's obviously huge, Rutgers, but you're in New Jersey, so like you're taking a shuttle that goes on the turnpike to get to class. It's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's cool. Have you?
No. But I was gonna say, I mean, especially since I was in like, I don't know, middle school. I feel like Rutgers, sure, Ray Rice and Greg Schiano kind of got the football program on the map a little bit, but last 5 years, and especially like the move to the Big Ten, which not everybody agreed with, I feel like they're really kind of putting themselves on the map to respectability here. I think they have 2 great head coaches in both football and basketball.
Yeah, definitely they do. And I mean, like you said, I mean, Rutgers, ever since I was a kid, it was always like, oh, Rutgers, like around here was a big deal. Like, it was. Interesting that they're playing Wagner tonight.
Yeah, and that's a game again. Should be a blowout.
Well, they're in. I mean, I guess technically, actually, I don't know because Sacred Heart's in the MAC now. I guess Wagner's still in the NEC.
I believe so.
Wagner, Staten Island, they're gonna get popped. I've been seeing them play Sacred Heart for.
Have you ever been to
Wagner's campus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into a game or no?
No. I went to their campus to tour. Their campus is beautiful. It's like perched up on like this hilly area of Staten Island, so you can see the city. It's an old college. But I mean, they're not good at sports, you know? So like I would take Rutgers and UConn covering the spread.
Well, it's 20
and a half.
20 and a half. How far is it from like your house?
I don't know, 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
it's the other side of the island.
Yes.
Gotcha.
The other side.
And your family, parents never had any like rooting interest for Wagner, like just Staten Island's pride, no?
I mean, if my mother were to see a game, yeah, she'd I'll root for Wagner.
Yeah.
Certainly over Rutgers for sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be like I think a couple of times recently they've made the tournament. Like there has to be some local buzz when that happens.
No, there's no local buzz, dude.
Oh man,
Some local buzz,
dude. It's crazy throughout like the whole Northeast. It's like there's UConn. You know what I mean? I guess the Johnnies are trying to make a comeback here, right?
And then what fucking Fairleigh Dickinson made that Cinderella run, right?
Yeah, but that's just one of those things.
I know it's like one and done, like you know, whatever.
I just feel like it's got to be tough. But like, if it was you, would you try to give yourself more tests, or if you are in a power conference, like, well, I mean, the tests will come once conference play starts.
Well, no, I don't know. I feel like the test will come when conference play starts, sort of deal. It's got our guys warmed up, you know, kind of slowly leaning into the season, sort of deal. But I don't know. I mean, before the season starts, do they have like preseason games, or
it's mostly like this tech? It's not. This isn't the preseason, but
this kind of
is. Like, I think there's an exhibition here or there, but nothing. There's not like a defined preseason as far as I'm concerned.
So yeah, I like that the way it is now for sure.
But I think also though there is something to be said about having tough tests early, kind of setting the tone.
You would have tough tests for your team, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, at least some. You know what I mean? I think you could have a mix, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, we'll keep an eye out for the schedule. It was funny. I was looking at the UConn basketball roster, and I think there was only like 2 guys that I was familiar with. So
really
big changes. Klingon gone, Castle gone.
Are there like a lot of Connecticut
Newton gone? It's
like, is there someone who went to Ludlow who's on the team or something?
No, I mean, I don't
Masick.
No, Masick. I don't know much about that. I don't know why this is. Oh, Spencer. Oh, Cam Spencer. That was the guy from last year. I think he's in the NBA now, but that's a guy I think they're gonna miss. He was the transfer, great 3-point shooter. But we saw Hurley go back to back with a much different roster. So wouldn't be surprised if he does the same thing there. What do you think about Hurley getting that McAfee all jacked up?
I mean, I guess good for
he
good
kinda,
for him,
I mean,
dude.
right? I mean,
like,
what could you really say bad about Hurley? Honestly,
you really can't.
Done his job.
By the way, not one person from Connecticut on the team, or at least on the
York?
roster right here. Yeah, it looks like Queens, New York. Hassan Diarra.
Yeah, he was on the team last year.
Okay. Was be someone from Mass, Alex Caravan from Southborough.
He was on the team last year, and then everyone else I don't recognize, honestly. So be interesting. Obviously, as it picks up, we get the bigger games, and one thing too I noticed is I just forgot about this, that Kentucky, no longer with Calipari, he's in Arkansas. That's going to take a little bit to get used to.
Yeah, that is tough, dude. Huh?
Really how the mighty, I mean, he was the toast of town in college basketball for 10, 15 years at least. But just, you don't get results. That's what happens. A big Connecticut presence with the Sacred Heart basketball team?
It seems like it, dude. We got Aiden Carpenter from Hamden, Mackay Connor from New Haven. And also we have Tanner Thomas from your own Stanford.
There we go.
So there we go, dude. 3 Connecticut's own in there. You gotta watch out for Bryce Johnson. He's a senior from Stockton. Really good player. Great dude.
Are you going to be working any of the games this year?
That's right. I don't know how many yet, but
no schedule out.
No, nothing yet,
no
dude.
Conference call with Freddie.
No, not yet, dude, not yet. But they just revamped the Pitt Center. It used to do. I don't know if you've ever been there with like a high school.
I used to go to baseball camp there.
Oh
Nick
man,
Giaquinto.
Wow,
played in the NFL. Used to be the Sacred Heart baseball coach, I think.
And I'm sure the big dude.
Yeah.
I remember him. Great guy.
Yeah.
But that I'm sure it looked the same when you went there for your camp because it was. Like fully around the court, like not just like bleacher seats, like actual nice seating, jumbotron, huge monitors in the corners to watch the game and stuff. It looks brand new, beautiful. So maybe that'll, Anthony Latina will be hyping up his roster, with the new Pitt Center. Maybe
besides an opening night or a senior night, I mean, have you worked there where it's like packed, like the like it just doesn't exist? Have you ever seen at least like been around like since you were at Sacred Heart or after where they won like I don't know 7 in a row or started out 5-0 anything like that?
Oh my gosh, I think dude. I forget this dude's name. My freshman year there was this dude. I can't even forget his name. But they started out so hot. He was the first 5 games. Maybe they were 5, I don't know. But he was leading the NCAA in scoring.
Wow.
And he transferred to Duke.
Wow. Of course.
So I mean, that was that.
Yeah.
But that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So whatever.
They could be throwing a bone. I mean, why not, right?
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, maybe. I mean, Latina needs it. That's for sure.
Do they play Fairfield U every year or no?
I mean, they're in the MAC, so they're gonna have to now.
Oh, go to their schedule. I'm just curious about this.
Let's see. Here's my mouse schedule. So obviously, they played Temple on this Monday. They lost at Temple. That's interesting. So UConn, Dartmouth, Holy Cross, New Hampshire, Brown, Central,
February 6th, right?
Boston. Yep, February 8th. It looks like
2 games,
and they play them again March 2nd.
So at Fairfield and then home to Fairfield.
So that's all the MAC. Quinnipiac, Siena.
Before this, like conferencing, did they play them or no?
Yeah, they would do one game though, like a Shoe versus Fairfield. Yeah.
But their program kind of sucks ass too.
Oh my god, yeah.
We just need more local hype, but at least for basketball, we have UConn. So I know you're pumped about that.
I mean, at least Sacred Heart's close by. How about that?
Yeah. So there's that. But good to get a little college in the mix, Tony.
Yeah, dude.
And I think as the college football season, comes to a close, and we start talking the top 12, the playoffs for the expanded format. We'll mention that too. Just a little sprinkle, nothing crazy.
A little sprinkle, dude. Nothing crazy.
But yeah, here we are, and another great show today.
That's right.
Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you.
Let's go just be the picks.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.